Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, anything else potentially interesting that we might gather throughout the show, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander, and today is Freya's Day, also known as Friday, July 22nd, 2022. Starting us off in the year 1489, the Treaty of Frankfurt was signed between Maximilian of Austria and King Charles VIII of France. Dang. 1835, Smolny Cathedral in St. Petersburg, Russia, was consecrated, originally commissioned by Elizabeth of Russia. Huh. Wow, that's a round face. Those are weird eyes. Everything about that is just kind of off-putting there. 1864, during the Battle of Atlanta, General Sherman's Union side defeated Confederate troops under General Hood with 8,449 Confederate and 3,641 U.S. casualties. Now that includes, injuries and stuff like that. Casualty does not necessarily mean fatality, so it's just people who are at least wounded, but some of those numbers are dead. Anyway, well, I guess today all those numbers are dead. But anyway, 1921 U.S. Open Men's Golf, Columbia Country Club. Englishman Jim Barnes won the third of his four major titles by 9 strokes ahead of runners-up Walter Hagen and Fred McLeod. Wow, 9 strokes, that is one hell of a lead. Damn. 2 years later, 1923, Washington Senators' future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Walter Johnson became the first to reach 3,000 career strikeout milestone en route to his 3,508th ultimate record, with 5 Ks in 3-1 win over Cleveland Indians. What's a K, though? 5 Ks? I don't know. Somebody who knows baseball, somebody educate me on that. 2 more years later, 1925, the New York Yankees bought future Baseball Hall of Fame shortstop Leo Durocher from Hartford Senators from the Eastern League. Yeah. 1933, Wiley Post completed the first solo flight around the world, taking 7 days and 19 hours. Wow. So just over a week. 365 days later, in 1934, outside of Chicago's Biograph Theater, Public Enemy No. 1 John Dillinger was mortally wounded by FBI agents. Melvin Purvis. Oh, that's the FBI agent who must have landed the killing blow. 1937, Irish Premier Eamon de Valera won elections. Alright. That looks like a pince nez, because there's no glass handlebars. Whatever these are called, eye stalks, I don't know. Also in 1937, U.S. Senate rejected FDR's proposal to enlarge the Supreme Court. 1940, Dutch Prime Minister Dirk Jan de Geer met Adolf Hitler seeking peace talks. Yeah, that would not go over so well. The Netherlands would fall to the Nazis. 1942, the Warsaw Ghetto Jews, approximately 300,000, were sent to Treblinka extermination camp. Yeah, 1943, U.S. forces led by General George S. Patton liberated Palermo in Sicily. So that happened today. Yeah, the Brits were just taking too long, too inept. Montgomery just was clearly incapable and undeserving of his position. And Patton just had to get slogged through mud just to achieve any form of victory. The Allies really held him back hard. 1955, Richard Nixon became the first U.S. Vice President to preside over a cabinet meeting. It's interesting. 1959, Benjamin Britten's Missa Brevis in D premiered. The tone, instead of D minor or whatever, D, I don't know. 1959 as well, Ed Wood's cult classic Plan 9 from Outer Space, called one of the worst films ever, premiered. Plan 9 from Outer Space. Alright. 1962 PGA Championship Men's Golf, Aron Imink Golf Club, Gary Player of South Africa won by 1 stroke from Bob Golby. Alright. 1 stroke, that's really close. So we go from 9 strokes to 1, you know. 1963, in their second clash, Sonny Liston once again knocks out Floyd Patterson in round 1 at the Convention Center of Las Vegas to retain the World Heavyweight Boxing title. Dang. So, once again, well, maybe if this guy wasn't dressing up like a cowpoke, you know, take his job a little bit more seriously, you know. We have boxer and World Heavyweight Champion, and then just boxing champion, Mr. Cowboy over here. 1965, Edward Heath succeeded Alec Douglas Home as leader of the British Conservative Party. Alright. 1969, Aretha Franklin was arrested for disturbing the peace in Detroit. Yeah. And something tells me that was ethnically motivated. 1972, 59th Tour de France, Eddie Merckx of Belgium took 4th consecutive general classification title as well as points and combination events. And I really hope this guy is... Oh, fuck, he's still alive, so that he can still... He can probably challenge me to a fight for making fun of his name. 3 years later, 1975, U.S. House of Representatives voted to restore citizenship to General Robert E. Lee. Alright. Yeah, that's kind of, well... I guess he threw his old citizenship away when he led a rebellious army. So, but then again, this country was founded on rebels. So, were they really, you know, who's a real American spirit here? You know? 1984, 22nd Federation Cup Women's Tennis, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Czech pair Hanna Mandikova and Helena Sukova defeated Australians Elizabeth Sayers and Wendy Turnbull 6-2, 6-2 for a 2-1 victory. 1964, the British Open Men's Golf at St. Andrews. Steve Ballesteros of Spain won his second of 3 Open titles by 2 shots from Bernard Langer and Tom Watson. Good old Tom Watson. 1991, Jeffrey Dahmer confessed to killing 17 men in 1978. 1992, Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar escaped prison. Yep, the guy that Mexico could not contain. 1993, New York Yankee Don Mattingly hit his 200th home run. Nice. 1994, former NFL running back, broadcaster, and actor O.J. Simpson pled absolutely 100% not guilty of murder. And then he went on to make the book If I Did It, with If I Did It. Basically, confession. 1997, Greg Madu threw a complete game with just 76 pitches. Wow. Dang, that's incredible. 2012, British Open Men's Golf, Royal Lytham and St. Anne's. The South African Ernie Els won his second Claret Jug, 1 stroke ahead of runner-up Adam Scott of Australia. 2013, Mike Babcock was again named head coach of Team Canada, this time for the 2014 Winter Olympics. They would repeat as gold medalists. Yep. 2016, Hillary Clinton announced Virginia Senator Tim Kaine as her vice presidential running mate. Thank God she did not get any game, you know. 2018, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened Iran in an all-caps tweet of consequences in response to speech by Iranian President Hassan Rouhani. Wow, all caps? Really, dude? Are you like a 16-year-old girl? Like, oh my god, this is literally, I'm just like a literal businessman, like literally doing business, literally. Like fucking Trump, dude, grow up. 2019, Marvel superhero film Avengers Endgame became the world's highest grossing film, overtaking Avatar, earning $2.9 billion. Dang. 2019 as well, Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan met with U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House in Washington, D.C. Yeah, they have the same face. Like, do I have to meet this guy? Is he going to try to feed me McDonald's now or something? Give me 1 scoop of ice cream versus his 2. 2020, Kim Kardashian asked for understanding of her husband Kanye West's struggles with his bipolar disorder on Instagram. Well, Kanye West really needs to shut the hell up and go back into obscurity where he belongs. You know? Anyway, before we get into births and deaths, were there any articles that grabbed your attention? You know, like there's some pretty interesting things that happened today. Giving Robert E. Lee back his citizenship, that was interesting. This battle, the Battle of Atlanta, that's interesting. The completion of the first solo flight around the world. Flying around the world with Russell Crowe. Anyway, moving on up into births, we have Emma Lazarus, born on this date in 1849. She was an American poet, New Colossus on the base of Statue of Liberty, born in New York City, New York. In 1890, we have Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy, was an American matriarch, mother of JFK, RFK, and Ted Kennedy, born in Boston, Massachusetts, dying in 1995. Wow. Wow, so she lived to be, that's 105 years old. Wow. She outlived all of her children. That's horrifying. 1898, Alexander Calder was an American sculptor. Stables. There's Stabiles. How do you pronounce that? Stabiles? Born in Lawton, Pennsylvania, dying in 1976. You know what? Let me check out, his sculptures. Let's see here. Alexander. Sculptures. Let's check out some of his sculptures here. Oh, okay. Interesting. Who else was born on this date? Bob Dole. 1923, a U.S. politician, Senate Republican leader from 1985 to 96, and a presidential candidate in 96 as well. Born in Russell, Kansas, dying in 2021. Oh, that's right, he died just last year. Dang. 1930, Sonny Liston was a U.S. boxer, the world heavyweight champion of 1962 through 64. Born in Johnson Township, Arkansas, dying in 1974. Then we have Louise Fletcher, born on this date in 1934. An actress, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, born in Birmingham, Alabama. Alex Trebek, hey, Cabertzella, 1940, Canadian U.S. Emmy Award-winning TV game show host, and Jeopardy from 1984 through 2020. High Rollers from 1974 through 80. Born in Sudbury, Ontario, Canada, dying... Oh, he died too, yeah, 2020, 2 years ago. Wow. Man, I forgot about that. Danny Glover, born on this date in 1946. He is a U.S. actor, Lethal Weapon and The Color Purple, and a human rights activist born in San Fran, California. So, yeah. Alright. Alan Menken, 1949, a U.S. 8-time Academy Award-winning composer, Disney's Aladdin, Disney's Beauty and the Beast, born in New Rochelle, New York. So he's a Disney shill. In 1964, we have John Leguizamo, a Colombian U.S. actor, Mambo Mouth, Whispers in the Dark, born in Bogota, Colombia. Shawn Michaels was born on this date in 1965. He is a U.S. pro wrestler, 4-time WWF/WWE World Heavyweight Champion, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, and the first World Wrestling Federation Grand Slam champion. Also the 4th World Wrestling Federation Triple Crown champion and 2-time WWE Hall of Fame. Wow. Born in San Antonio, Texas. Well, that explains everything right there. And Selena Gomez, 1992, a U.S. actress, Wizards of Waverly Place and Hotel Transylvania, and singer of Wolves and Lose You to Love Me, born in Grand Prairie, Texas. And then Prince George, who cares, 2013, of Cambridge, son of Prince William and Catherine, Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, England, third in line to the English throne, born in London, England. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I don't care about royalty. Anyway, moving on into deaths, we have Marie-Francois Xavier Bichat, died on this date in 1802. He was a French anatomist and a physiologist, tissue theory. Died at 30 after falling downstairs at the Hotel Dieu and acquiring a fever. Well, that sucks. The tissue theory. Let's take a look at that. What is that? Tissue theory. The tissue organization field theory, or TOFT, postulates that neoplasia arises from a problem of three-dimensional organization of a tissue, not from a cell gone awry by mutation or by other mechanisms. And what was this guy's name again? Marie Francois. Why can't I copy it? There we go. Copy, paste. Alright. He was the first to propose that tissue is a central element in human anatomy, and he considered organs as collections of often disparate tissues rather than as entities themselves. Interesting. So I'm going to include this link in the underbar to Mr. Vishal hosting. Alright. Who else did we lose on this day? John Dillinger, 1934, a notorious U.S. bank robber shot dead at the age of 31 by federal agents at the Biograph Theater in Chicago. Yep. 1950, we lost Mackenzie King. He was the 10th Prime Minister of Canada from 1921 through 30, and from 1935 through 48, died of pneumonia at the age of 75. And then we have Estelle Getty, died on this date in 2008. Hey, that rhymed. I did not intend that, actually. That was purely by chance. A U.S. actress, The Golden Girls and The Golden Palace, died of Lewy body disease at the age of 84. Lewy body disease. What? Lewy body dementia is a disease associated with abnormal deposits of a protein called alpha-synuclein in the brain. These deposits, called Lewy bodies, affect chemicals in the brain whose changes in turn can lead to problems with thinking, movement, behavior, and mood. Well, that explains a lot about somebody I know. Well, about two people I know. I'm going to have to share this with them. You know, and they'll be like, you hit the nail right on the head there, Ayo boy. And that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar in the description for any links that you may find interesting, which also includes everything Omni Coalition, from all our other platforms that we post on, to SON TV on Twitch, to Muffins YouTube, and that pretty much lists everything. Anyway, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time. For all of you and all of us, I am Aoxander, and you are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, do not forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles! Let's go, Brandon.